Russell Brand is being accused of rape. Is he just one of those wayward celebrities who throws his weight about and now it's time for him to pay the piper for all his past indiscretions? Or is this potentially a bigger attack on not just free speech, but masculinity as a whole? And anyone who stands up to the agenda and the narrative of the day gets the full attack of the mainstream media, and they have a playbook that they use. And for men, it often involves these types of allegations around rape and sexual assault. And this is really important in the fight for masculinity in terms of bringing men back to be great again. So if you don't know who I am and what this channel is about, my name is Daniel, and I help guys become men they can be proud of, who attract women that they're proud to be with. And I believe Russell Brand is one of those men, a man that he can be proud of. He's made mistakes in the past, like we all have. I'll put my hand up definitely for that. But I think there's a wider agenda going on right now that's purposefully attacking Russell, and it's also attacking that which masculinity stands for. Masculinity is a fight. Masculinity is the ability to say no. Masculine is the ability to stand up for what you believe in. It's not just this agreeable, I'll just go with the flow type of thing. But there's a price to be paid for that today, okay? If you want to be a fight for that masculinity, that fight for truth in the world, hit the subscribe button down below to show your solidarity for the masculine movement in its most positive sense going forward. And let's crack straight into the video. Okay, so some of you might have seen recently that Russell Brand has been in the news. He's been demonetized from YouTube. They're trying to take him off different platforms, all because of accusations made by a few women from over 10 years ago that weren't reported to the police, but instead was launched on a mainstream news channel reported by journalists. So I'm just going to come out straight away and say it that, number one, I think Russell Brand is innocent. And number two, I am biased towards Russell Brand. Okay, and I'll explain to you why in a second. What I don't believe is these coordinated attacks on men that stand up for free speech. We saw something similar play out with the whole Andrew Tate and his brother situation, where they were locked in a Romanian jail for over 90 days. Again, apparently with women that they emotionally abused a long time ago, and those allegations were proved to be false. So it's like these powerful men that are standing up, and where that narrative has something to do with people putting injections in their arm to do with some virus or an illness, or whether they're standing up in terms of masculine principles about working on yourself, about don't tolerate disrespect from women. Make sure if you get big enough, you're going to have the weapons of the media point themselves at you. And I think that's exactly what's happening with Russell Brand right now. If you didn't see Rumble, which was a platform that stands for free speech, and I just created a Rumble channel right before this video because I'm going to be posting on there a lot more, because they actually in alignment with more of my values, and they don't just censor like YouTube and the other big tech platforms. They actually received a letter from the British government asking, this is like Orwellian 1984, cancel people we don't believe in type of letter. I'm actually going to read it to you here in a second, asking for Russell Brand to be demonetized. So at the moment, it's just allegations. Nothing's been proven. I'm not 100% sure that he didn't do these things. You know, stranger things have happened in the world, but I'm going off my assumption and my intuition that these are all false. So let me read out this letter to you from the UK government to Rumble, which Rumble then posted on their Twitter, which I think is really, really fascinating to see the types of mindset and what these people do when it comes to limiting free speech and taking out opposition that they don't approve of, like they did with Andrew Tate, like they're trying to do with Russell Brand. They went after Joe Rogan when he was talking about ivermectin and how much that helped them with the certain disease that was going around at a time. Okay, so let me just share this letter with you. I'm not going to read it all, but it'll be interesting to at least read some of it. So this is from the Culture and Media Sport Committee, House of Commerce, to the Rumble CEO. Okay. And it says, I'm writing to you on the concerns of serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context of being a content provider on Rumble with more than 1.4 million followers. Okay. However, we are also looking into the use of his social media, including on Rumble, where he has issued a preemptive response to accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4. So accusations, innocent until proven guilty. What has happened to that? No, someone can just accuse you of something, and then all of a sudden you get deplatformed, you get demonetized, you're not able to make a living, your name gets drawn through the mud. We also had something similar happen with this recently with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, where she was accusing him of beating her up and his name went through the mud. He got kicked off the Pirates of the Caribbean sets. He actually went all the way and took her to court, and they proved it was completely false. So just because it's allegations doesn't mean that there's any truth to that. While we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. So that's their real thing. How can we squeeze the life out of his fire? How can we extinguish his fire? Okay, well, we can't prove that he's guilty yet, but let's get him demonetized so he's not able to make an income, so that he can't get money and resources to defend himself. And they're trying to cut him off at all these different angles. We would be grateful if you confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including his videos relating to serious accusations against him. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. Okay, so there you have it. YouTube jumps in line as it always does, and it wants to just completely censor whatever it gets told to do, it just does. But Rumble is different, or at least it's different up until this point, where it actually really stands behind its values. And how is that from the government going to attack these types of men? You know, with the Andrew Tate thing, not only did he have all the governments against him, but the payment processors would stop processing payments on his website for his products, for his services. They will find a way to get after you. They'll create these news stories about you and they'll attack you. And it takes really strong men to be able to stand in the face of this. And I wanted to talk about that. That's what masculinity is, the ability to say, no, I'm not going to just go along with whatever comes my way. I talk about this often. You don't only become an attractive man when there's a woman in front of you. How are you living in other areas of your life? Are you standing up to tyranny in your own small ways? Are you doing what you can to support people who are on the side of free speech, who are on the side of people standing up for their rights? I'm going to put a link in the description down below to a link where you can support Russel Brand. I went ahead and did it because I want to be part of that supportive movement that says no when they feel something deep within their bones is not right. Okay, so check that link out. Consider if you have the means to support Russel as well. But it's much more than Russel. It's much more than Andrew Tate. There's a bigger fight going on here for free speech, but for masculinity, because masculinity has been shamed and taken out of the mainstream picture. So dating coaches are getting taken off all types of social media platforms. I've been sent warnings many times for promoting the content and teaching the things that I do. So don't think it's just free speech, because masculinity is a big part that's under attack right now. So let's actually look at the response that Rumble sent, because I thought this was brilliant. This is having values, having principles that you put above just your fears and desires of the moment, which we're lacking in a very big way today. So Rumble is taking a stand. Look what Rumble said. Today, we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores sexual assault, rape, and all serious crimes, and believes that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that the recent allegations against Russel Brand have nothing to do with the content on Rumble's platform. Again, we're not saying rape or sexual assault or any of that stuff is good. Go do the investigations. Go do the due diligence. But just people making accusations about anything can completely cut off a man's livelihood is not something that I stand for or believe in. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that solely based on media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for different values. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning an internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. we regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living for doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We don't agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but we refuse to penalize them for their actions that they have nothing to do with our platform. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join the cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and missions. And that's so critical. That's so critical. Like, think of yourself almost as an organization. Do you have values and principles that you stand by? So when the mob comes after you, when you're scared or you have desires in a moment, it's like, no, I have things above my own desires and fears of the moment that I align myself with. I applaud Rumble for that. That's why I said I just created an account with them, because it's like, hey, the pressures are coming on. People are attacking them. Different companies like Burger King or some other company stopped advertising on Rumble because they allowed Russel Brand to go on. Okay, there's a cost to standing up for your values, but if you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the night, that's what's the most important thing. Can you do that as a man? Are you living the life that you know you could be living? Are you being the man you know you could be? Or are you lazing around, giving into your hedonic pleasures of the moment, checking your phone and watching, doom scrolling social media instead of building that business that you really want to build? Or are you passing up on opportunities and using excuses of what other people might think when you see that cute girl in the restaurant or the grocery store and you want to go start a conversation with her? This runs a lot deeper. What principles are guiding you as a man that go beyond just you, but it's a higher order that you're orientating yourself toward? That's what I help men do in our mastermind program. If you're not doing that, you need to start doing it now. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. You're going to be pathetic. And I'm not saying you're pathetic. You're going to know in your own bones, I could be doing so much better than this. Okay. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm biased towards Russel Brand. I went to his festival called Community last year, and it was absolutely amazing. And this is something that's really cool. I had the great privilege of meeting the great man, and he put this amazing community festival together. I went there with one of my friends. I went there with my girlfriend as well. Wim Hof was there. My girlfriend got to hang out with Wim Hof. I got to meet him as well and do some ice plunges with him, which was absolutely amazing. And what you need to understand is like attracts like. People that stand for truth, people that have integrity, they tend to move towards each other. And people that stand for deplatforming and banning people, they tend to stand together. So I obviously look in my life. I don't just want to blindly follow anyone, but one of the markers I look for is like, who are the people that associate with this person? When you get guys like Wim Hof or Vandana Shiva or even Jordan Peterson standing up for Russel Brand and what he's doing, that's showing me, that's a good sign to look for. Okay, cool. These people are on the side of truth. You can clearly see at these times who are on the side of truth and who is not. And then there are varying degrees within that, but look upon yourself, investigate. I stand with Russel and I hope you do too. So what I'd ask for you is, I put a link down below this video to go support Russel in this challenging time for him. But like I said, it's so much more than Russel. It's standing up for free speech. It's standing up for masculinity, which is all about standing up for principles and not just your individual fears and desires of the moment, which is a huge part of masculinity. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.